Yes, sir. So NTSC system, the textbook has given more importance because that's the standard which is followed in North America. And yes, there will be two different signals for sure. One is considered to be in phase, and the other one is considered to be quadrature phase. And this diagram, this depicts this more clearly. Okay, so these are the color components which are in phase. These are the color components which are Q components, and they in turn are modulated because basically a message signal, it modulates the carrier. Carrier is a standstill sinusoidal signal. Okay, but the message signals can modulate the carrier. Okay, so these color components modulate an in phase carrier signal, whereas these colors, they will modulate a carrier signal which is 90-degree delayed with the in phase. Okay, so quadrature means 90-degree phase shift. Okay, so if one is considered to be reference carrier, 90-degree phase shift with that, that will be considered as quadrature. Okay, and now, yeah, so again, this is the diagram which is rather important. Yeah. From our previous discussion, we know that for voice telephony, double sideband, if we use, then 8 kilohertz is required. Otherwise, the best voice telephony can be accomplished using just 4 kilohertz. That much is sufficient for voice communication, human speech communication. But video, it's quite intuitive. Anybody can understand it easily. Like video requires more bandwidth. Okay, because previously also have explained, a video is a bunch of thousands and thousands of picture. Each picture requires so much of bandwidth, so video requires bandwidth. One is because of so many pictures, and another because it has to carry the intensity information or brightness information as well as color information. And television signal is not restricted to only video. What is visual is only not the thing. Okay, as soon as you make on a TV. Okay, so you also have to get the sound as well. Okay, so sound signal also have to be there. So considering all these aspects, first thing one need to notice is around 0 to 6 megahertz. Okay, on an average, 6 megahertz of bandwidth is required for one television channel. Okay, from this diagram, it should be very clear to every one of us. 6 megahertz is the bandwidth requirement for one television channel. Okay, if you are, in your home, if there are 100 channels, so for those 100 channels, the bandwidth requirement is around 600 megahertz. Okay, so you may require till 1 gigahertz also for all the channels. Of course, you don't want or you don't watch all the channels at a time. At a time, we will watch only one channel, but there has to be allocation of 6 megahertz for every television channel. Okay, in that, anyway, the basic information signal will be in DC. Okay, it will be near to the very low frequency. That has to be shifted using a method called as modulation. Modulation is the process of shifting a low frequency signal into high frequency signal. At the same time, I have a word of caution for you. Modulation is different from mixing. Okay, in modulation, carrier frequency, the original signal gets shifted, of course, but along with the carrier component. Okay, but in mixing, there is no addition of carrier frequency component. Okay, so modulation can be thought of as one of the frequency translation or mixing, but mixing, you should not feel that it is modulation. Okay, so in simple words, in both the places, low frequency gets converted into higher frequency, no doubt, but the concepts are different. Okay, don't ever mix modulation term with mixing. There are two different issues. Okay, so because we are at the fag end of the syllabus, one thing I have always been stressing upon, the technical terms. Okay, we have to be very careful in its usage. Okay, in frequency division multiplexing, what we do is mixing. By using a process called as mixing, if there are 10 signals, all the 10 signals are shifted to different frequencies. So 5 of them put together is called as group, 12 groups put together is called a super group. All that we have in the curriculum. So be very careful in remembering the terms. Okay, should have joy in that. Okay, here again, this diagram properly you need to remember 6 megahertz is the bandwidth requirement. Picture carrier means brightness. Okay, so this is with reference to the brightness picture carrier, and which is around you can notice, I guess, 1.25 megahertz. Okay, this is brightness or intensity. Y is the acronym we have used. And here somewhere 4.75 megahertz, that is chromatic subcarrier frequency. Chroma means, I said, color. Okay, color component, it has to have a carrier. Okay, so let us make our discussion very simple. Message signal is there. Okay, and they have to be shifted. Okay, after shifting they will be centered to a carrier frequency. But here multiple types of modulation is used, because television is not just a single kind of wave. Okay, speech means it is only speech always, but television, it has got some brightness component, it has got some color component. Not only brightness and color, which are factors of image, but also you have sound component. Okay, there's a better word used, later we shall see. Sound is also one aspect of television signal, and all the three, they should have their own carrier frequency. Okay, brightness has got a carrier frequency of 1.25. Color signals, okay, chromaticity we call it as, that is centered at another carrier frequency. Sound, it is situated at another carrier frequency. So you have to notice all the thing, and what is the difference between this and this, and here and here, here and here. Okay, that you have to notice. Okay, as a student, if I think, I will remember these carrier frequencies: 1.25, 4.75, this is 5.75. If you remember those, no, then finding the bandwidth is a very easy aspect. Okay, so but overall you need 6 megahertz of bandwidth for video uh, television signal. Now, textbook gives the diagram like this, and we have to reproduce this diagram. But still, I felt for better understanding, let me take another diagram from the internet. Okay. Um, Remember, I had said you some time back, vestigial sideband modulation. There are many types of amplitude modulations. For normally voice or sound, we make use of frequency modulation. That's why all your radio, what you hear, no, FM. Okay, so there for voice and audio we prefer FM, but television we make use of AM. In amplitude modulation, there are many methods. Okay, many equipments, many circuits will produce different types of amplitude modulation. Okay, again, to make it simple for you, in amplitude modulation there are some varieties. First one is called as very basic standard modulation. Standard amplitude modulation, when we perform, we will have the carrier amplitude also. Along with the carrier frequency, you will have that carrier is a one sinusoidal wave, and its frequency component is one impulse. Okay, carrier component will be there. Along with that, uh, because of symmetry, there will be presence of two side bands. Okay, one, the lower one, if you are shifting to 9 megahertz, 9 megahertz minus something is called as lower sideband. 9 megahertz plus whatever is called as upper sideband. There will be two sidebands. Okay, this is in the standard amplitude modulation. Now, then we feel that carrier component, it takes lot of power. Why not we suppress it? That's why it's called as carrier suppression. And still we have two sidebands. It's called as double sideband. Okay. Later on, we became very greedy. Why to have two sidebands? One sideband can convey the information in the other sideband because it is symmetrical. Okay, so both the sidebands anyway they carry same information. Why to send two sidebands? Why not restrict or why not decrease our bandwidth requirement? So that's why we reduced two sidebands into one sideband. Okay, only one sideband. That is called a single sideband. For uh, conversion of double sideband into single sideband, we make use of what are called as filters. And filters, if they are cutthroat, they are ideal. If they are, then one sideband only they should retain. The other they should completely eliminate. Okay, they should retain only one sideband. But unfortunately, they are not ideal in nature. The low pass filters or high pass filters, what we use, they are not ideal in nature. Apart from clipping of the unwanted frequency components, they might clip off some desired frequency component also. That's why instead of going for very strict single sideband, since we are interested in the lower frequency components very much, okay, what we do is we send one sideband completely. Along with that, a trace, a small portion of the other sideband also we tend to transmit. This kind of modulation technique is called as vestigial sideband modulation. One sideband completely, another sideband partially. That's called as vestigial sideband modulation. Now, if you consider this as a carrier, picture carrier, our Roger Freeman has called it as picture carrier. These people are calling it as video carrier. It is to do with the brightness. Okay. If you observe, it's very interesting. This is the entire upper sideband from here till here. That is the entire upper sideband. And lower sideband, it's not that it is zero. Some small portion of the lower sideband is also used. Okay, so this is about the video carrier. And here coming to the color carrier. Okay, eye signal. In the literature says our human eyes are very sensitive to the in-phase signal, in-phase colors. Okay, so in phase there are some colors, blue to orange, I suppose. Those colors we are more sensitive. Q phase, okay, I guess Q phase means green to magenta or something. Okay, so that phase we are less sensitive. That's why I signal there is lot of bandwidth utilized. Q signal there is a smaller bandwidth utilized. Okay, so I it is more than 1.5 megahertz. For Q totality also only 1 megahertz. So these are color components, and two color components they are modulated with the same carrier. This is called as color subcarrier. Why? Because video carrier is the most important one. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೇನೆ you also send the color. That's why it's called as color subcarrier. And apart from all this, you have audio carrier. Along with the picture information and the color information, you also have sound. Television means sound also has to be there, no? So that carrier is audio. Okay. I think I will anyhow share this PowerPoint. You can have a closer look of it. At the same time, I have a request. Don't reproduce this, okay, in the assignment or blue book or exam. Okay, you are required to I mean, you have to stick on to the diagram which is mentioned in the prescribed textbook. Okay, so and it is reproduced with the permission from NTSC. So as it is, you are supposed to reproduce it. Right. So after that, yeah, till there it is actually essentials of color television. Only background of RGB to YUV was required because I wanted to you people to make understand that there is a necessity of separation of brightness and color. Okay. Otherwise, straight away, if I had taken color standards, I don't think you would have understood what is the difference between color and brightness. NTSC, PAL, and CCAM, all the three color television standards, they separate color and brightness. But the thing is, they have their own way of processing the color information. NTSC has got its method, PAL has got some other method, and we notice that in our country PAL is in use. Okay, and further bandwidth. Okay, so the radio frequency amplitude characteristics, how much of bandwidth requirement is there for television picture transmission, that we have seen. We're almost at the fag end of this class. So here for each standards, okay, he has given some parameters. You could ask me, sir, will this be asked for the examination? Yeah, because it is belonging to a subsection in the syllabus, there is a possibility they can ask for each standard, mention some of the parameters. It depends on the marks allocated and what are the specifications. Okay, you might find it difficult to by heart everything, but notice them as much as possible. Try to write. Okay, so some of the salient features I'll tell it off very quickly. Channel bandwidth required, okay, in video, it is 6 megahertz. 6 megahertz, 6000, how much? 6 into 10 power 6. Okay, so that much of frequency is required. 6000 hertz, that much is required. And what is video? You all know it. But what is oral? The word oral, you can check it in dictionary as well. Oral means audio. Okay. For audio, you require less bandwidth. Something like 25 kilohertz is also a good bandwidth when it comes to audio. See, please differentiate. Like video, enormous bandwidth is required. When it comes to speech or audio, substantially smaller bandwidth is sufficient. Okay, carrier allocation where it occurs, on that you can read. Scanning sequence, first horizontally from left to right, and then when you traverse, you also move from top to bottom. This is understandable. Vertical scanning frequency, how much it is. Okay, I'm sure you know in India the electrical signal, the frequency is 50 hertz. So we prefer 50 frames per second. In Europe and all, they have 60 hertz. So they prefer the scanning to happen at 60 frames per second. Okay, and one striking thing. Okay, normally blanking level in the previous class for composite signal, I had said it has to be a very small voltage, something like less than zero point 0.3 volts. But in this specification, it will be slightly striking for you. They have given 75% or slightly more than that. Why blanking is so high amplitude? If that is your question, let me answer. There are two types of blanking. One is positive, another is negative. Okay, in positive, the white is higher amplitude, blanking is smaller amplitude. Negative, the reverse. Okay, so what we had seen is negative synchronization. The synchronization pulse was negative, so there the value will be smaller. This is a positive kind of synchronization, so the blanking level will be higher. Okay, it's just a convention. Okay, so either positive synchronization or negative synchronization can be used. Okay, of course, don't bother much regarding this. I have a document at the end. You can go to that link, you will understand. A small level also can be used for blanking. The complement of it, a high amplitude also can be considered for blanking level. But once we stick on to one protocol, we should not keep changing. Otherwise, white will become blank, black will become white, or blank will become white. That should not happen. So it's something like um, a syntax, like one particular system we have to practice. Okay, hope this is clear to you. If it is not clear, I'll ask you to read the PDF file later on. Some other time I'll explain it again. Okay, but the gist is, small level is used for blanking in one particular protocol. Higher level can be used for blanking in another protocol. Okay, But once we fix it, we should not keep changing it. Okay, it's something like a rule of the game. Once fixed, it has to be followed throughout. And black and blank synchronization, we call it as blacker than black. Okay, so that phrase is very interesting. And aural transmitter power, aural means audio. Okay, so this is for one kind of standard. This is European standard, I believe. It is of NTSC. Channel width is 8 megahertz, so they use more channel width. And even for them, picture carrier location is 1.25 megahertz. Strikingly different thing is, for sound they allocate more frequency width. Okay, and scanning frequency is same, blanking level is same, 75. Added to that, it can become 77.5 or 72.5, plus or minus. And peak white level, polarity of transmission decrease with initial light intensity causes an increase in the radiated power. If the brightness is less, radiated power is more. Brightness is more, radiated power is less. That is a definition. Standard means that, basically. I mean, we will fix the rules of the game. Okay, how exactly, what exactly we follow. Okay, RN transmitter power is also defined. Yeah. Coming to the last slide, when we are using television cables, uh, one is there should be impedance matching between the TV receiver display and the coaxial cable. Okay, if it is not happening, the consequences, there will be a reflection, and that leads to distortion. In audio, it leads to echo. All this, if you have to avoid, there has to be a kind of impedance matching. And the cables what they use, they are of two types. One is balanced and another is unbalanced. Okay, one with ground wire, another without it. And regarding that also, I have a document. At the end, I have put the hyperlink. Read it. Apart from that, return losses, the return loss has to be very small. Okay, and impedance matching, it requires something like normally 50 ohms, 75 ohms the cables are, because the receivers, they work well in those resistance values. And attenuation distortion has to be minimized, so that's why you need some characteristic impedance. All that are interconnected. Okay, so these are certain parameters. You can just have a glimpse of these. Okay, and regarding the intermediate frequency also, what are the expected, okay, impedances, what is the input level and what is the output level. Okay, so this is with respect to the TV receivers. In the TV receivers, what should be the impedance for general video signals, what should be the impedance for the intermediate frequency. Okay, so that is enlisted at the end. Okay, yeah. So I was telling, mm, yeah, why 75 ohms or 50 ohm or 100 ohm? They're 124 ohms. Okay, those impedances only are popular. For what reason? Okay, nothing like simply they manufactured 50 ohm. Okay, they had a reason. At a specific resistance, the phase and delay distortion also it is called as, and amplitude distortion will be very less. Okay, so those kind of resistances only are considered. Okay, see, for everything there'll be a logical reasoning. Simply they don't manufacture without any design, okay, interest, right? Then what is the difference between positive level, high level, like 75% level used as blanking, or below 25% used as blanking? Different conventions. Something like one language, they may write from left to right. That is a convention. Another language, they may write from right to left. Okay, that's equally like justified kind of convention. So it's mere matter of convention. There's nothing like this is right, this is wrong. Okay, and last one is what is the difference between the cables? People who are interested in musical instruments, they also should know what's the difference between balanced and unbalanced cables. Okay. So with that, very surprisingly, the syllabus itself comes to an end, right? Immediate task I have given you. The second assignment has to be submitted as PDF files. Okay, so do that by Monday. And what else we can check out? That I will also think. And what is expected by the college is like the students also should occupy themselves more in academics, so that once the college starts, they should be able to perform academically very well. Okay, so this time, whatever the time you have got, it has to be fruitfully utilized. Okay, so I wish, I mean, don't make it as a very tedious procedure. Okay, assignment 2, I'm sure you would have written. If you had not written, please write it by tomorrow itself. Okay, and just scan it, and from your 5 group members itself, okay, one of you take the lead, or one of you take the responsibility. Okay, so you send them the PDF files, they in turn will mail me. Okay, I'll put mail ID, because of group work already you are aware of, so you can send it. And as in the college also, I would tell assignment, okay, apart from copying, even if you are copying from your friends, make use of your own intellect also. Okay, so you have the textbook with you, you have vast e-material with you, and you have understanding from the classes as well. So don't just, okay, mechanically copy it. Okay, we really don't want, like, printer will do it better. Okay, so it should not be a human copying, rather it has to be a bit of the intelligence. Okay, so you can take the help from others, you can discuss, but yeah, when you are sending your PDF file, make sure you are responsible for what is written. Okay, so read the question thoroughly, read the question very thoroughly, and just visualize what is the expected answer. Okay, and that answer will be there in the textbook also, right? So accordingly you write it. And so the primary sentences have to be from the textbook, then elaboration you can do as per your ish. Okay, you can also add something from the internet material or any document which has been shared to you. That freedom, liberty, you have it, but you, with your involvement, you have to write the assignment. Okay, and I don't think you will have any reason of internet connectivity, something like this. Okay, sending a PDF file, even if you are from remote corner, you should be able to do it. Okay, so yeah, so if you have any queries regarding it, you can ask it. uh, yes, Yashas, I think you can take a snapshot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So I'm very confident that you would be sending the files by Monday to my mail ID. Okay, so you can just let me ask some of you to unmute regarding assignment. If you have any question, be online, those who are there as of now. Harshita, Harshita, Rohit,
Yes, sir.
yeah, okay. Shankar Gaud, Shankar Gaud, yes,
Yes, sir.
okay. Veda Chavan, Vedashree Chavan,
Yes, sir.
yes, okay. So all of you, you know your group numbers, right? Whether you belong to group 1 or group 7 or group 11, you know it. So all 5 of you, okay, one of you should take the responsibility. Assignment completely, okay, you take the picture using camera scan, but don't make 5 6 different PDF files. It should be only one PDF file. The name of the file should be your name, and assignment 2, if you want, you can write A40. Okay, that should be the file name. Okay, so we shall meet probably on Wednesday. Okay, so Monday you will be submitting the files, and Wednesday we will have one more class. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.